Good afternoon, or evening should I say. It is 6 o'clock, Saturday the 18th, and I'm just about to head off out for an Uber shift. A couple of little reservations have popped up, but nothing worth taking, so I didn't accept anything. But other than that, yeah, hopefully it's going to be busier than last night when it was completely dead. So I'll let you know shortly. So it's just turned 8 o'clock, done 2 hours. It's going remarkably well, to be honest. I had to come offline to do an update because it's just job after job. I think the biggest thing I've seen tonight is the price per job is actually better. I don't know by what by, but it seems by like 10-20%. It just seems better. I think I can't remember if I mentioned it the other day. I feel as though if Uber just charged the customers a tiny bit more and passed that on to the drivers, everybody would be happy. It was like the other week. I'd finished on Saturday. I think it was Saturday. I was in Ormskirk and the jobs were just so crap that I thought I just came offline and come home. And then a friend who was out messaged in Ormskirk and said, "Oh, you out working tonight?" And I said, "Well, I was." I said, "But I've just pulled up at my house now." I said, "I've come home because it's that crap." And they were like, I can't get a taxi, I can't get an Uber, no one's accepting the jobs or anything." And I said, "Well, because I've just been there and all the jobs that were coming up, they were crap. They were like £3 jobs, and this is like 2-3 o'clock in the morning." So I said, "Well, I'll shoot back and pick you up and go and drop you off," because it wasn't far away. And then as I'm driving in, you can see all the Uber drivers all parked up just on the outskirts, obviously ignoring all these little £3-4 jobs. So yeah, it's as though like Uber's getting too big for their own boots. They've got really cheap rates for the passengers, but now it's got to the point where the drivers aren't picking the passengers up because the fees are too small. So who's ultimately paying the price is the customer. So anyway, I started my shift straight onto a job which was $18.99. That includes a £1 tip, and it was going 6.1 miles, but I did probably run about 4 or 5 miles to it because I live out in the sticks, so let's just call it 10 for good measure. So it was almost £2 a mile, not too bad. That took me from Banks, which is the outskirts of Southport, and took me into Southport. And then when I got there, I got a £3.75 for a 0.7 of a mile job. And then I've had some of these priorities. This one was £11.73 for 3.2 miles. And then I had a £3.73 for 1.1 miles, £6.20 for 2.4 miles, a £6.05 for 2.3 miles, £4.03 for 1.2 miles. Then had a surge job, £8.94 for 1.8 miles. I then had, including a £1 tip, £5.27 for 1.8 miles. And then I've just done a £5 job exactly for 1.2 miles. So currently on, right, loads, £73.69 for the past 2 hours. So I'm on £36.84 an hour, which is good, like really good. I'm just going back online now because it's saying it's surging again. But yeah, it just seems to be more people are out tonight. It's definitely more people out tonight than there was last night, but the fares just seem a little bit better. Like the majority of the jobs that come up, I've been accepting because I'm thinking, yeah, that's not too bad. The odd crap one still comes up. I took a screenshot of one here before. Where are we? So I was in Southport. They wanted me to drive 9.2 miles to Maghull, Liverpool, to do a 1.5 mile job. So 11 miles in total for £6.85. It was an XL job. So what's that, like 50p a mile or something? So yeah, the crap jobs do come through, but it just seems to be the jobs that are coming through, for whatever reason, Uber are paying a little bit better, so it kind of makes it obviously more worthwhile. So yeah, it's freezing cold. It's just plummeted the temperature. We're down to 2 degrees already, and it's freezing. Forgot to put my seat back on. So yeah, we'll see how the next 2 hours go, and then I'll be jumping on charge. But yeah, hopefully it carries on the way it is. So it's just turned 9 o'clock, and it seems to have slowed down a little bit over the past hour. After the last update, I hung around for about 10 minutes to get a job, 5:33 for 2 miles. I then done, where was I? I then done a 5:66 for 2 miles, which then took me to, what time was it? 8:45, and I've done nothing for the past 15 minutes. Only 1 job offer's come through, and it was like £3 for 3 miles or something. I thought I just can't be bothered doing that. It's ridiculous. So yeah, the hourly rate has dropped down a bit. I'm on 84.68 over the 3 hours, so it's dropped down to £28.20 an hour. You know, which is quite a drop from the 36 it was on. But yeah, let's see what happens in the next hour. So it is 1:45. Last update was 9 o'clock. Let me just scroll back a bit. Yeah, so after that update, I had an XL, including a pound tip, was 7.85 for 1.2 miles. And then had, sending these people thanks. I then had including a £5 tip, it was £14.51 for 3.6 miles. So yeah, that was quite good. Then had a 7.45 for 2.5 miles. And then I'd done a 3.76 for 0.9 of a mile, because that was on the way to the charging point. So I came off 10:05, went on charge, came back online at 11:45. First job was another snotty customer. It was just round the corner, drove round, parked there, job started, and then I took a screenshot of the chat. Keep in mind, if you're ever speaking to somebody, keep it civil, because obviously Uber can read everything. So they said, "Hi, I can't see you at the pickup point." And I'm thinking, well, I'm obviously at the pickup point, because otherwise the job wouldn't start. So I said, "Hi, I'm at the pickup point on such and street by Tesco's." There was like a little Tesco's Express, which was obviously shut, but that's where the green dot was. And then so then all the friendliness has gone. Then they've put, "That was not our destination. We are at Hayberger in Southport." You know, so I've put, like, I've come to the collection point, i.e. the green dot on the map where you have placed it, not me. and then the 5 minutes just ticked over, so cancelled the job, marked it down as basically it was the rider behaviour, and got paid £3.75. And the thing is, where Hayberger was, basically you could come out of the front door of Hayberger and you would have seen the street opposite, and you would have seen the back of my car, so they would have walked across the road and I was there. But at the end of the day, if you're in Hayberger, why not type in on the app, you're at Hayberger? Do you know what I mean? They've either not done that, or they've put the pin in the wrong place, and they've got a snotty attitude with me. So for that, it's cost them £3.75 to give me some abuse, which I don't mind. After that, I got an XL job, £6.45 for just over 1 mile. I then had, I was going to say a tip, it wasn't really a tip per se, so it was a £6.70 job for 2.7 miles. So dropped them off, and then when the next customer got in, he went, "Oh, someone's left a phone in the back here." So we passed it over, and it was an iPhone, and it was bleeping to death. Obviously they were trying to track it and do all the different bits and bobs. So I spoke to him. I said, "Oh, I'll be back in a couple of minutes, I'll come and drop it off to you." And he was like, "Oh yeah, you know, thanks for that." So I drove back outside the house. I'm trying to call them, because you can, it's like an emergency number, and it comes up on the screen of their iPhone. It says, "Hi, I'm lost, please call this number." So you can just click call on their phone, and like there was no answer or anything. I was like, what's going on? I've just told him I'm going to come back. He's obviously tracking it. So I get out the car, walk up, knock on the door, I'm standing there for like another minute, and then he opens his door in his undies and he's like, oh yeah, thanks for that, mate. I'm thinking, if I'd lost my iPhone and the you know, the driver was bothering to you know, to come back, you'd go out and get it. So I was just like, right, okay, there you go, mate. So he gave me a £5 tip anyway, you know, through the app. So I ended up getting £11.70 for a 2.7 mile job, but then it did drive about a mile maybe back to them to drop it off. So technically it was a 3.7 mile job. And the job for which was after that, that's the customer that found his phone in the back, including a £2 tip. It was £6.80 for 1.79 miles. So currently on £149.95. I've done just over 5 hours, so I'm on about £30 an hour. So yeah, not too bad. Hourly rate has increased a little bit. That's about it really. Those little jobs popped up there. Yeah, go on then. Right, so I'll keep you posted shortly. So, final update, it is 3:30 and I've just got home now. Last update was about 1:45, I believe. I was still in Southport. I waited around for about 10 minutes and then done a little tiny £3.72 for 1.4 miles, which then took me to about 1 AM. So I thought, oh, I'll start heading back towards Ormskirk and see if anything's happening down there. On the way I got a £6.43, which was kind of like outskirts of Ormskirk going into Ormskirk. On the way back it was 3.1 miles. And then most of the jobs were just, well, they were all kind of just in Ormskirk. Quite a few of them were just like from the town centre back to the uni, things like that. So it was like a 4.74 for 1.3 miles, a £9.2 for 1.7 miles, a 3.81 for 0.9 of a mile to the uni, and then a 4.73 for a 0.9 of the mile to the uni. A 4.14, which was 1.3 miles to the uni, an XL 788, which was 1.3 miles to the uni, and then the last one was a little £3.96 for 1.1 miles. And then I said to myself, right, I'll give it 10 minutes. If no jobs come through, I'm heading home, and no jobs come through, so started heading home. And only one job popped up when I was on my way home, and that was back towards Ormskirk, going, you know, like 1 or 2 miles, little tiny job. So yeah, just basically ignored it, logged off. So I finished on £198.38, and that was over 8 hours, which works out to about £24.80 an hour. So yeah, the hourly rate has come down again a little bit. Kind of, it was in the 30s and it went down to 24, and I think it went up to about 28 and then 24. But it's just towards the end of the night, obviously the jobs started to drop off a bit, and they were smaller jobs. And then obviously I had that transition of going from basically one town to the next, you know, so I lost like, you know, 15-20 minutes work there, so it all quickly adds up. I've only done 5 hours 3 minutes driving time, and I've done 28 trips, but yeah, other than that, nothing really major. Just quickly see if I took any more screenshots of any daft jobs. Yep. Where was I think I was in Ormskirk, and I was being offered a job, an XL job. They wanted me to go 9 miles or 20 minutes over to Wigan to do a 1.4 mile job, so 10.5 miles in total for £6.90. Again, another one popped up, an XL job again. They wanted me to go 11 miles to Wigan to do a 1.5 mile job, so 12.5 miles, and they were offering me, this was a surge job as well, £7.10p. And then I was offered another Surge XL job to go 10.8 miles to Wigan. That was a 1.5 mile job, so what's that, 11, about 12.5 miles, and they were offering me £7. So yeah, obviously just a lot of ridiculous jobs, and being an XL, you get even more ridiculous X. So you'll get all the ridiculous X jobs, but then you'll also get all the ridiculous XL jobs as well. So you get twice as many ridiculous jobs. But yeah, other than that, nothing really else I can mention. It's just been a you know, half decent night. Not too many issues really. Yeah, that was about it. So the next time I'll be out now will be probably Monday daytime. So yeah, I'll catch you on the next one.